Welcome to the latest edition of Domino Theory, the podcast about politics, media, and business in a tumultuous world. I'm Christian White, and joined as always by co-host Mark Simon. We're pleased today to be joined by Jeff Berkowitz, the founder and CEO of Delve, Washington's preeminent competitive intelligence and risk advisory firm. He's also the co-founder and CEO of Delve Deep Learning, an AI-native tech company building the future of public affairs intelligence. Jeff's previous political experience includes several stints with the Republican National Committee and multiple successful presidential campaigns. We were both political appointees in the Bush State Department, and he previously served in the Bush White House. Jeff was one of extremely few people at the State Department who understood public diplomacy and public affairs should be run more like a political campaign and less like hippies singing Kumbaya in an effort to get foreigners to like America. But first, the lead-in. The Trump transition is well underway with less than 2 months to go until Inauguration Day. Recently, Trump announced that he would enact 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada if they don't stop the flow of illegal immigrants and fentanyl. Trump also put China on course for a 10% increase in tariffs. The market and tariff skeptics, hoping for the best, wrongly took this, I believe, as a step down from Trump's previous plan to put 60% tariffs on China. If you look at the wording of his announcement, it seems like he means that this 10% fentanyl surcharge will be on top of his other plans. Trump lost one nominee, Matt Gaetz, who will not be Attorney General. Instead, he intends to nominate Pam Bondi, the tough but otherwise uncontroversial Attorney General of Florida, to lead the corrupt Justice Department. Senators made it clear to Trump's team that all 47 Democrats would have voted against Gaetz, and he would have lost 4 or more Republicans, which is the threshold to doom any nomination in the current Senate, or at least the Senate that starts in the new Congress. For the Pentagon, Trump has nominated Pete Hegseth, a military veteran and Fox News personality. Hegseth will be the second youngest SecDef if confirmed, and one with the most unusual background. Democrats are attacking him based on a lack of experience with big organizations, and they also are mounting a so far ineffective Me Too campaign against him. Trump's nominee for the State Department is more conventional and could pass the Senate with unanimous consent. While there was speculation Trump might choose a more firebrand top diplomat like my friend Rick Grinnell, instead the former and future president took Senator Marco Rubio's hand into his much larger hand and said, "You're my choice, Marco." We'll talk more about what this means in the discussion. Tulsi Gabbard, the former Democrat congresswoman from Hawaii, will be director of national intelligence. That office has mostly ranged from pointless to counterproductive since its creation in the wake of intelligence failures that led to the 9/11 attacks. On the economic side of the administration, Trump has chosen Scott Bessent to be Treasury Secretary. Wall Street seems relieved and believes this to be a conventional pick. I think he might be better than that. Bessent is an iconoclast who at times has won big by betting against the market and conventional wisdom, and has endorsed Trump's tariffs, which remains heresy in the editorial pages of both the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times, at least as far as anyone checked. Bessent supported Al Gore in 2000, but would be a major Trump contributor by 2017. He's gay, married, has 2 kids, and lives in a restored mansion called the, quote, Pink Palace in Charleston. Not your average finance bro, which is nice. Over at the Commerce Department will be Howard Lutnick, also a veteran of Wall Street. Commerce typically is less important to American business and finance than its name implies. There used to be a joke that every new secretary thought he had a big budget until he was informed that a huge chunk was earmarked to something called the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Since then, NOAA's budget has actually been eclipsed by the Commerce Department's handouts to semiconductor companies and something called, quote, broadband equity. But that's another story, probably one for Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy at their Department of Government Efficiency. Commerce became more relevant during Trump 1 after it fell behind the U.S. Trade Representative's office in screwing China and caught up by enacting export controls on semiconductors made anywhere in the world with any U.S.-produced tools. Trump's announcement of Lutnick said, quote, he will lead our tariff and trade agenda with additional direct responsibility for the Office of the United States Trade Representative, unquote. This arrangement is unprecedented, and the U.S. Trade Rep is usually a direct report to the president and a member of the cabinet. We'll try to discern the implications of this. If you zoom out, you see a president-elect that is putting activists and reformers in each of his key agencies. He is placing energy and loyalty above experience, especially government experience, which isn't necessarily bad. Certainly seems determined to avoid the pitfalls of personnel failures in his first term. Friends involved in the transition report a new process that is nonetheless chaotic and opaque, even to insiders. On the other hand, it's only been a few weeks since the election. Trump has most of his team assembled, and the usual bedwetters are wetting their beds. So he might be onto something. That's the lead-in.